Crypto presents exciting new opportunities for the investment-minded, but it's also volatile and accelerating in complexity. That's why we created Token Metrics, an intelligent crypto platform backed by an industry-leading combination of data, AI, and media that feeds optimized portfolios to crypto investors. Featuring Token Metrics ratings to help you find the best investment opportunities in real time, an indices page that showcases various model portfolios, and deep insights into price predictions and technical analysis. Plus, with access to Token Metrics TV, monitor 24/7 exclusive crypto news and analysis. Whether you're a first-time trader or a seasoned crypto investor, you can stay informed and in control, backed by your all-in-one crypto companion, Token Metrics. Take control of crypto today.
We are live. This is the Market Update Show. I'm your host, Bill Noble. This show is brought to you by tokenmetrics.com and its new AI-based NFT launch. If you need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live. And if you like our new AI grade, make sure you smash the like button. Okay, so I'm going to welcome everybody to the stream, and then I'm going to show you a couple quick graphics. So Routine Cheese first on the screen, welcome. Chris, Soli Soul is here. East Tennessee. Aiken with the Notorious Love. We have Orange County. Routine wants to know, is it time to buy the dip? We'll talk about that. Montreal, the Middle East, Dubai, right? Somebody mentioning Zcash, let's go. All right, we have India coming in. All over the world here to see not only the market update, right, but our friends from Oxford and all over. Our friends from London may recognize this picture behind me. Okay, and I want to bring one quick slide up first. Okay, so let's talk about the Token Metrics NFT grade. Today, we are launching something, an NFT grade for both collections and individual NFTs within collections. So if you go to our site, we score things from 0 to 100. You know, we tend to like things as the grade is jumping or as the grade hops above 80. We now have this not just for cryptocurrencies and tokens, but we have it for NFTs. We're going to show more of that to you in a minute, so don't go anywhere. Market update coming after the demo. 25% off any plan at Token Metrics with the code NFT25. I'm sure you're going to want to use it when you see the demo and you see the guests I've got, right, to rock this news for the company that brings you this update. All right, and the alpha that comes with it. All right. So we have Holland, Florida, Bronx in the house. All right. Andre thinks the market is going down. Well, if you think that, just remember art and stocks are not correlated, or art and the economy is not correlated. So on that note, gentlemen, do we have our special guest here with us? All right. Gentlemen,
hey,
welcome.
Bill.
We have...
Hey, Bill.
Paul.
Gentlemen, hi. So we have Ian Balina, okay, the original Token Metrics legend and CEO of our company. And we have Paul Dohan from our machine learning department. So if you want to know who makes the machine learn, there's your guy. Okay. Gentlemen, I understand that you've got something special for us today. Ian, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, I mean, so this is something lots of our customers... apologies, guys. I think I'm hearing some background noise. Not sure if that's... Okay. All right, I guess it's just me now. Hey, Crypto family. Hey, Token Metrics family. Hope you're all well. Yes, this is a huge day. All of you have been asking this. We've added NFTs to Token Metrics. The same powerful AI, the same TM grade is now being applied towards non-fungible tokens to help tell you what NFTs we're bullish on and which ones we're bearish on. Obviously not financial advice. All right, so let me pull up my screen. Looks like everybody else is gone. All right, so This will be coming out today. Right now, this is on alpha, but to our customers, by end of today, this will be available. All right, so producer, could you pull up the my screen? All right, so when you log into Token Metrics sometime today, you go to Analytics and NFTs, you'll have NFT grades for both collections and individual assets. I kind of demoed this on the last live stream, but now it's officially coming out today, right? What does this mean? So we're going through looking at all the data points out there from the floor price change, the volume, market cap, all these different data points, even sentiment as well, and creating grades for the individual NFTs. And then we take all those grades and create a collection grade. So you know what collections are good. Do they have good fundamentals based on the data, based on our AI, right? So looking at this, these are the top collections. So we have Parallel Alpha, the meta key, which only has 4 items. So this is looking both at PFPs, those with 10,000 NFTs, for example, like Bored Ape Kennel and Bored Ape Yacht Club and Mutants and Doodles, to even the smaller ones with 4 items, right? So in this case, Bored Ape Yacht Club, the biggest, the largest NFT collection and project out there, is only scoring at 67%. What does that mean? Is that a good or bad? Now it's basically telling us that right now it's somewhat overvalued, but this is the whole collection, right? The beauty of this NFT grade, it can go through the collection and find the needle in the haystack, right? So in this case, if we go to NFT assets, it's looking purely at the individual NFTs. There's still hidden gems in the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Almost all the NFTs individually scoring high are Bored Apes. And it tells you the actual number, right? So for instance, if you go to the top ones, right, we have Bored Ape Yacht Club number 7153, rarity rank, which is basically our way of ranking the rarity of the traits, is 965 out of 10,000. Collection rate is low, but this individual NFT, there's potential alpha in it. The last sale price was slightly under 70 Ethereum, and our AI estimates this, obviously not financial advice, could sell for up to 170 Ethereum. Right, so looking at this, if we drill down into this, can you guys hear me? I just want to make sure because we lost everybody else. All right, so this has been sold 4 times. This tells us the NFT grades. All right, so here we have, I'm sorry, this shows us the traits and their rarities. All right, so the mouth trait grade of 20%, or I'm sorry, trait rarity grade 20.94%, but floor price. So floor price for the mouth is 169 ETH. This is a huge factor. All right. Our question is, do we have Solana NFTs? Currently, it's Ethereum. This is actually a question for Paul, our data scientist. Currently, it's mainly Ethereum. Paul, are you there?
Yes. So for now, we are mainly focusing on Ethereum-based like NFT collections, and we plan on adding more blockchain later on down the road.
Yeah, so we'll add all that down the road. But for now, Ethereum. So anybody out there who has Solana, no worries, we got you. But basically, Paul, can you maybe explain how this works, the trait rarity grade and the NFT grade
Absolutely,
in general?
Yeah, so like you said, Ian, we take a look at many different data points, right? Whether it's for the collection grade or for the individual asset grade. We look at on-chain data, off-chain data as well, such as marketplace data, mainly focusing on OpenSea right now, but what people are doing on OpenSea matters in terms of is the NFT collection or NFT asset is going to go higher in value. And we look at sentiment as well on social platform and so on. So it's a collection of all these data points, on-chain, off-chain, social, that help us build the collection grade for the entire collection, and then the asset grade, like you can see for this one, for the individual asset. So we use a scoring system for rarity that is very similar to like state-of-the-art rarity ranking on all platforms. And we aggregate everything like that is done already on other platforms, plus our own AI to create this one-of-a-kind single grade.
All right, awesome. And then can you explain the price estimations, price estimates we have?
Absolutely, yeah. So it's again like as what we do usually, in the machine learning department, Token Metrics, you try to find as much data point as we can, so that in the end we encompass everything we can learn from, right? So this price estimation is actually leveraging two main aspects. The first one is the traits. The second one is the growth of the collection. So just a quick words on each of them. About the traits, we look at the different traits that an NFT has. Like, for instance, this one, the 7153 here, you can see the traits below. And all these traits have other metadata, other listings, there are stuff happening for these traits on OpenSea and on marketplaces, right? So we look at what is happening on these marketplaces for other NFT that share the same traits. That's one aspect. And then the second aspect, we look at the past historical sales of this NFT. So like you were scrolling down earlier, you can see how sales have evolved through times. You can see that there was full sales for this asset. And so we look at the sales, we look at the overall growth of the collection itself, and we try to estimate what would be the value of this same asset with the new environment the collection is into right now, compared to when it was last sold. So
right,
with these two aspects, we build the price estimation.
Yeah, I think this is going to be something that's going to be welcomed. And the best thing about this, drum rolls, please. We're going to make this available, awesome, to all of our customers. Yes, all of our customers. This will be added to the basic plan. So if you have the basic plan, if I can actually go to the pricing page, right? The basic plan, which is under $20 a month, $20 a year, you basically get 2 months free. We're adding the NFT grades to the basic plan. Lots of our customers have been asking for more value on the basic plan, where here you go, we're adding the NFT grades to that. So hopefully you all like it. And we're also launching, as mentioned before, on the past live streams, the Astrobot Society NFTs. So once we add NFT logins to the platform, anybody with an NFT will have access to NFT grades. So if you really love NFTs and you want to be part of our community for a lifetime and at a discount, highly recommend you join the Astrobot Society. Go to the premium page, you come here, join the whitelist for the opportunity to purchase an NFT for a lifetime of Token Metrics subscription. You could potentially mint a VIP plan even, right? So yeah, as Bull Runner says, everybody better hit that like button. We're trying to give you as much alpha in this market as possible to our customers. Anything else to add to that, Paul? Okay, maybe we lost Paul. Okay, well, that's it for me. I do have to get going, back to work. But back to you, Bill and team.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. So what did we just hear? We heard the guy that invented using metrics to look at tokens create, along with the machine learning team, a way to look at NFTs, okay, where it's actually looking at the NFT traits, comparing them to other similar NFTs throughout the entire marketplace. So basically, we're just like casting a fishnet of data about the NFT in question, related NFTs, the NFT market, and the NFT Twitter. And we're rolling it all up into one, and then the machine learns to predict, or at least give you an idea that's not investment advice, but it's an idea of where it could go. So if you want to do value investing in art, because art and stocks or art and the economy is not correlated, Token Metrics, basic plan, investing plan, etc., gets you in the NFT game when prices are low, rather than when the whole world is FOMOing into bunny JPEGs that are going to go to zero. We're getting you in on the ground floor with the tool that essentially no one else has. All right. Now, with that said, let's jump into the market update. So somebody was saying, am I hiding given the call? I guess this individual is referring to the fact that the market went down. Okay, nothing moves straight in one direction. So let's go through the market update and let's go through the philosophy of how I'm thinking about the market today. And hopefully some of the things that I'm saying will live long past today, right? So that when people come and they see the launch of the NFT grade, maybe they can laugh about where the market is when we release this, whether the market is much higher or lower sometime in the future. Right now, again, art seems to make sense. Here's why. All right. Again, the NFT grade at Token Metrics is live. And with the coupon NFT25, you get 25% off. That's through August 15th. Try it. You'll like it. Now, art and the economy are not correlated. I have been saying this for several months. Bridgewater, the #1 hedge fund on the planet by far, which is gigantic and up 40% for this year, which is stunning, led by Ray Dalio, who's also like a self-help author, has come out with a new report saying, update from our chief investment officer, transitioning to stagflation. What is stagflation? Well, it's basically a decline in everyone's standard of living. It's a recession and inflation at the same time. So the economy stagnates with inflation, hence the term stagflation. Now, that has to do with the economy. That's bad news. That could be bad news for the stock market, potentially. But art holds its value better than stocks. Now, does that mean you can buy a bunny NFT and have it go up 1,000x? I know that's what you want. I would want it too. But art will hold its value in environments like this. Speaking of art, not investment advice, I strongly suggest following Astrobot Society on Twitter. Okay, it's an NFT. It's Token Metrics, really getting in touch with its roots artistically. Okay, and we're going to add tons of alpha with utility for subscriptions, okay, alpha groups, etc. Art and the economy is not correlated. So if you can buy an NFT that's useful, or you can buy an NFT that you think could go up in value a lot, which you can get off of our website, now seems to be the time. Let's talk about volatility. Let's talk about Bitcoin when no one wants to talk about Bitcoin because it's not moving. And that's why I want to talk about it. Because this comes from the Token Metrics markets page. The yellow line is a metric of volatility. TA friends out there will sort of know this is similar to Bollinger Band width. Everyone talks about that when the market stagnates and goes nowhere. Okay, we have kind of a more mathematical calculation from academic finance called historical volatility. That's the yellow line. And as you can see, there's no volatility in Bitcoin. And when there's no volatility in Bitcoin, when you look down here and that yellow line gets to that red line, meaning Bitcoin isn't doing anything, you have had huge moves up and down. Okay. Now, will this happen again? In other words, is there a huge up move coming? Is CPI going to be a disaster tomorrow? I am not hiding from anybody. I think it's up through inflation. So this is just like the payroll number. Everybody sells the fear beforehand. And then even if the number is ghastly, the Fed fires the last giant pre-election bullet in September. And they told you that you know that. So even if the number is horrible, the path of interest rates, at least for the rest until after the election, to me seems known. So if they give you a dip, it's time to look maybe at my Twitter, or I have, support levels around 1,600 in ETH. Hopefully one day you're watching this video and ETH is at 16,000. But for right now, 1650 seems like support in ETH, and Bitcoin sitting at 23. You know, in 2017, if you said, oh, you can buy Bitcoin right around the 2017 high, you would have jumped on that. So as volatility contracts, the likelihood of a big move increases, whether I'm right or wrong about the direction. Now, speaking of direction, let's talk about revulsion. So Mike Novogratz, head of a major crypto hedge fund, he says he's doubtful that Bitcoin can push through 30, and he'd be happy if it stayed in a range. Now, he's not seeing huge institutional inflow yet, despite interest. Now, let's think about this for a second. He doesn't see it getting out of the range because there isn't enough activity to justify that. But he says the institutions aren't putting money in yet. They're interested, but they're not putting their money where their mouth is. Well, in crypto, what gets people to put their money where their mouth is? FOMO, right? They don't want to buy low and sell high. They want to buy high and sell higher. So when I look at this, this looks like revulsion to me. Remember this whole idea, Musk selling, Michael Saylor might have to lighten up, the Mt. Gox crypto Bitcoin holders may be hedging. Everyone's given up on Bitcoin. Everyone's given up on crypto. Why? Normally, when you get that, that's when you actually want to try to get long. Even if it's bumpy, right? Even if it's up and then back down. I mean, we're watching this. I talked about this for August. Take advantage of the chop. Again, for something long-term, right? What do you get? We're at the bottom of a logarithmic growth curve. Bitcoin is actually below it, and everyone hates it. At the top of the logarithmic growth curve in 2017, right here with the pi cycle top, oh my God, what a mania. We all sat home, Christmas and Thanksgiving, going, wow. The New York Times wrote an article that said, everyone is getting filthy rich and you're missing out. With two guys with Bitcoin and Ethereum Christmas sweaters. Now, nobody at the retail or institutional level will touch it. I'll leave that decision up to you as to what that means. Continuing from Token Metrics' market page, which ironically I think is free, 22% of the top 300 coins are now above their 60-day moving average. So this number was at 8, then it was at 18, now it's at 22. Tomorrow it may be lower than that. The bottom line is this. There are a huge number of big cryptos that have not taken out their 60-day exponential moving average. Where did we get that moving average from? Well, our quant guys came up with it as one of the best moving averages to look at. And actually, it's been fantastic. They're afraid of that moving average in Bitcoin. Every time it approaches that, they sell. Right? Because, I don't know, there's some fear out there or there's some seller out there. Okay. If they sell but don't break it, it'll tell you something. If they sell the market while I'm talking now and don't break it, that may tell you something. But if you're watching this video in 6 months, knowing how many coins are above their 60-day moving average can be an extremely powerful tool. Okay, let's talk about quant-based AI levels for Bitcoin and other coins. So guys like Paul, other guys who do financial mathematics, they came up with a way to have AI and machine learning read the chart so you can find the hidden gem in technical analysis, which is levels people can't see, right? If everyone's on TradingView looking at the same thing, it never works. What works is the levels that people can't see. So obviously in Bitcoin, we're living in an annoying world where 24,200 is resistance. And if it breaks above that, it can go to 28. And that seems to make sense, right? No one's interested when it's in a range, but if it starts breaking out, you know, the equities macro hedge fund mentality of buy breakouts will kick in. Okay, ETH, you know, 1656 is support. Okay, the range, in my opinion, could be 1656 to 2100. Right, the market is going to use these AI levels to try to hammer out a range. Okay. And I think that's what may be going on today. So we do want this video to live forever. But the point is, when you look at these AI levels, look at how many levels Ethereum took out on the way up, right? This started at 1025. The breakout was above 1200, and ETH is taken out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels. Can you imagine what the rest of this market looks like if every cryptocurrency took out the 5 resistance levels from the bottom? Okay, that means a market that can go higher than anyone thinks. So the theme as we're doing this video is much higher before it can go lower. A lot of people are looking for a lot of damage. That may occur, but I think it's got to go much higher before that happens. It's got to go up until people either are forced in or retail and crypto Twitter start believing 100K is next. Okay, Stellar getting a lot of traffic on Google, probably because of the Robinhood ad. 10 cents is support, 14 is resistance, 12 cents in the middle. It would be fantastic. It would be fantastic if something like this would break out right in September. I'm looking for a surprise breakout. Now, I'm kind of hoping it's Zcash because I'm kind of a Zcash maximalist, right? That's my box of chocolates under the bed, okay? But a lot of people looking for Stellar. Now, on the subject of privacy coins, Tornado Cash, a lot of negative news, regulatory pressure, bad guys using the product, etc. Okay, 2165 is support in Tornado Cash. So interesting. It was at 30, 31 at a resistance level, and it fell out of bed and went right to a support point. So it will be interesting to see, are they going to destroy Tornado Cash? I don't think they can, but I think the U.S. government's kind of made it clear that, you know, we're not exactly thrilled with people using this. So they can come over and use Zcash, which I heard about at Consensus, and I ran out of the room and I said, I finally found something where I can look into the camera and say, I'll buy it from $70 to 7 cents, and I think this is 100x or more. It's like buying Bitcoin at 70, in my opinion. Why? Well, it's simple. You're not going to buy anything in the metaverse when somebody can know how much is in your wallet. You're just not. You're not going to pay in crypto when somebody can just turn around and go back in your wallet. This includes NFTs, right? Secret Network has a way to buy NFTs without somebody knowing what you've got, which I think that's interesting. And of course, there's this idea that you could wake up one day and your wealth could be held against you, right? In other words, one way to historically timestamp today is to just simply remind you that 2 months before an election, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, which is a bunch of very serious men with badges and guns, kicked in the door of the former president of the United States and cracked open his safe. Now, you don't have to like the FBI, you don't have to like the current president or the former president to realize that if they can kick the door in on a former president of the United States, they can kick your door in, or they can look in your wallet. I mean, this is as simple as that, folks. That is a news fact item, right? So 71 is support, and I hope one day when someone's watching this video, they're laughing about Zcash at 71. I can only hope. I'm a little worried, you know, September up, October, November down, but, you know, pardon my phone. Okay, Zcash, because I just can't stop, is above its 60-day exponential moving average. I like this Williams alligator formation. A trend could be starting. Okay, today could be a pause point because Zcash is outperforming. But like I said, if you go back to token metrics, if 71 holds, 82 is next. I like the fact, and I've seen this in a couple cases where, you know, the coin pulls up short of resistance. Sometimes when something pulls up short of resistance, if it goes back up there, it goes through it. So fingers crossed, Zcash to 100. not investment advice. But, you know, I feel that in here. Okay, Secret Network, again, launched itself up to $1.49, comes off hard, support at $1.11. Okay, what happens if the Tornado Cash debacle ignites the idea where somebody goes, we got to own privacy? So that was a privacy fail. By the way, Zcash conference going on right now, I believe, or very soon. What happens if people go, you know, we really should think about privacy done the right way? So Secret Network, if it holds support at $1.11, I realize, you know, this can be viewed as kind of an S-coin, but I was at Consensus where they released a movie on this network, a full-length movie as an NFT released on this network. And nobody seems to care, right? That's when you want to care, when no one seems to. That's why you want to get the Token Metrics NFT grade, right? When do you buy NFTs? When everyone is or when no one is? Think about it. Solana, speaking of no one buying it, so Solana actually has supported 40. And I know a lot of people were buying other layer ones. You know, we kind of had a nice idea in AVAX that played out. If 40 holds in Solana, I'm kind of wondering, even though Solana's got its problems and people hate it, I'm just wondering if Solana is one of these things that's going to be negatively impacted by the ETH merge. I suspect not. So like it or not, if Solana holds 40 and this market turns around, Solana could go to 48. Now, if Solana falls apart, supports at 35, and it's been chopping around there for a while, but I am interested in Solana if it holds 40. Now, Cardano, another pet project. Token Metrics AI grades are temporarily high in Cardano, which is interesting because the price has not moved. As a matter of fact, as you can see from this chart, there's a ton of resistance in Cardano in this base that it's made between 50 cents and 67 cents. So Cardano went to 54 cents and they slammed it. Okay, right? So Cardano is in a range and it's not doing much. We know that. But if Cardano turns around and starts breaking out above 67 cents, you know, you have resistance like 90 cents, 99, and $1.18. So there's a lot of resistance in a confined space. But if there was ever a catalyst and Cardano left that confined space, especially with the token metrics grades high, it seems interesting. Now, I mean, what's the risk reward? Well, I don't know. The risk reward is that Cardano does nothing and sits there. And your upside theoretically could be, you know, robust if it ever broke out. It needs a catalyst. And I saw the big guy, as in BitBoy, putting, you know, a portfolio together with $1,000. And if I read the blackboard he was writing on correctly, he wanted to start with ETH and Cardano because according to him, there were recent catalysts. Now, I'm not a Cardano expert, but our Token Metrics AI, right, eliminates the need for me to be a Cardano expert. Now, I did see the Cardano community at Consensus, and that was impressive. We definitely got our money's worth out of that ticket. This is interesting because the bigger the base, the higher into space. If there's a catalyst, this is worth looking at. Now, DYDX getting hammered today, right? Obviously, I'm not the only person who knows about the technical level at 2.5. As a matter of fact, I may be the one spreading it around that that's resistance. So people headed for the door today. People who bought it at $1 took their 100% profit and said, see it. Okay, I understand that, right? Now, what happens is they've knocked on the door 3 times at 2.5. So it's either over, at which case, you know, that's the market update. We're done. Or if it holds like next 3 days and DYDX turns around and takes out 2.5, everybody who's been selling the last 3 weeks is going to come in and buy it back because there's no resistance until 436. And just like privacy, and even like Cardano, right? Wall Street, crypto hedge funds are not going back to centralized exchanges. They're just not. And not exclusively. So let's see if I'm right. DYDX falls out of bed. Oh, well. right? Token Metrics AI has been tracking this literally since $1.48. Polkadot, can't stop loving it, right? There's no resistance until 10. And if it takes out 10, it's going to go to 15. Token Metrics customers know that Polkadot is featured in every index that we have, right? Token Metrics AI and financial mathematics groups the top rated coins into portfolios that change daily, which is very powerful for traders and investors, right? Something goes into one of our indices and stays there for a week or a month, then you know that that's a momentum coin. Kusama, support at 59, right? Let them kill it. Let them, okay? Resistance at 90. Now, a small reminder, especially after, any former president's house gets raided by the FBI 2 months before an election. This is a reminder that due to social issues in the United States, the Republicans were projected to win the November elections that decide who controls the U.S. legislative branch, like Parliament, if you're from overseas. Okay, thanks to the social issues, this is now tied. So the blue, the left, the Democrats, and the Republicans, the red or the right wing, whichever you want to call it, it's tied. So if there's a blue upset in November, that could have tax implication changes. So if you're going to make money, how about we make money now, right? If there's a dip, right? Like some guys giving me a hard time because there's a dip. Yeah, there was a dip, right? What do you want to do on a dip when you're in sort of like an accumulation phase to make the money you need to make, right? When do you want to buy NFT assets? When do you want to buy art? Do you want to buy art when ETH is at 1,600? Or do you want to buy art when ETH is at 3,500 post-merge? This is coming out around the time of the ETH merge, and very few people are talking about the possibility of shocking upside in ETH after that merge. Most of the talk is about stakers dumping on ETH. Nobody is talking about, should you buy art now in case ETH moves? Or should you buy art now in case there's a tax change in November or January that affects stocks or the economy? By the way, you can get 25% off any Token Metrics any Token Metrics plan with the code NFT25. Anybody who watches this show knows that, I help promote Token Metrics, but I haven't made the point in this fashion for a while. So it's not investment advice, but, let's think about what you want to get invested in, right? And at what price you want to do it, and where art could be the next Bitcoin halving. In other words, if you wanted to buy a cryptocurrency, I'm like, well, cryptocurrencies can be all over the place. But if you could find some cheap art or do some value investing in art, you might be able to hodl that art. Now, obviously, you're going to have currency price risk with Solana or ETH. But art and stocks are not correlated. We wrote a report on this. It's 5 pages long. It was written by a really smart guy out of USC, who, by the way, is now running Astrobot Society Twitter, which I really hope you're following. All right. So that is the market update. Okay. Wrong again says it's absolutely investment advice. It is not investment advice. I want to be here to help you guys. I don't want to get in trouble, right? So art and stocks are not correlated, is not investment advice. It is something we got from a statistical study. Okay. Okay, Fernando says, remember Bill pounding the table on the future of money. He may be onto something. It is pretty funny. Like, I was doing this a year ago or a year and a half ago. I was doing Dash, right? Dash went to 400 and then collapsed. sometimes in research, it takes a long time to get it right, right? What's the next cycle? Everyone's like, oh, what's the next 100X? What's the next cycle, right? This cycle, it was layer ones. Everybody is assuming that that's what the next cycle is going to be like. What if the stuff for the next cycle is already out? Or it's coming out in the form of NFTs like movies and things like that. But what if the cryptocurrency side is the next cycle, right? Okay, Routine is asking about XMR. Okay, I can definitely pull up a chart. No problem doing that. So nothing wrong with XMR, but I'm just wondering about, okay, so by the way, before we start with that, here's some hidden pivot work in ETH, okay, on a 4-hour chart that shows pretty good support at 1659. All right. So yeah, so 1659 is decent support in ETH. There's the possibility of a target of 1958. I would not be surprised if 1659 to 1958 is your range in ETH. Your range in ETH may also be 1958 to 1510. Who knows, right? All I know is sub 2K ETH. Sub 2K ETH could be a very interesting proposition between now and the end of September. Do not underestimate what ETH and ETH assets can do in this environment. You know, market's red as we're talking. Excuse me, but who cares, right? Okay, so somebody is liking my work as a guide. We appreciate that. Okay, Crypto for Noobs is saying, Bill, do you think ADA can get to $1 or will just stay stuck? Okay, so I did talk about this, and I have no problem talking about it again. YouTubers talk about Cardano and XRP because that gets a lot of eyeballs. I'm talking about Cardano because Token Metrics AI has very high grades for it. Now, will it be high at the end of today? I don't know. But there have been very high grades for Cardano lately. And it's been very interesting. I'm actually going to bring it up after I do Monero. So Monero has got, you know, so we're going to draw some Fibonacci speed resistance fan work for Monero and see where it is. So Monero has hit, you know, resistance at 173. Okay. So I think the government's been trying to crack Monero for so long. I'm not sure how private Monero really is. That's coming from the Zcash Maximus, right? So you have to take me with the grain of salt. I'm sorry, I just can't help it. Okay. Okay, somebody is having a problem with the Astrobot NFT sending you to a not so good page. Okay, it's coming from the Token Metrics email. So if you're a Token Metrics customer, do support@tokenmetrics.com. Or you can DM the guys at Astrobot Society. Whatever you do, don't click on any links that you're not comfortable with. Token Metrics customers did get an email about Astrobot Society. Okay, the Astrobot Society guys, I believe, watch the show. So just DM them if you have questions or problems. Okay, so now is Monero different than Tornado? Isn't Big Brother but annoyed by it as well? Yes. Right? Big Brother is annoyed about privacy. Okay? But that doesn't mean you're not going to need privacy going forward. TM ever weigh in on token pre-sales? No, not yet. They're doing whitelists for the NFTs. Okay, so somebody is asking, okay, if sports memorabilia may wind up being the same as art. Yeah, it could be. Okay, but you got to remember, guys like Tom Brady, they bought their Bored Ape when ETH was at 4,000, right? Where you buy the currency price when you buy these assets, like for example, theoretically, if you bought an asset when ETH was at 1,600 and you like those assets and ETH went down to 700, as long as you weren't putting all your life savings into those assets, you would actually have an opportunity to dollar cost average and buy more art if crypto got crushed. Or maybe crypto is going to reset its range and reset its range to be like, I don't know, I'm dreaming about 2,000 to 3,000, right? And while the bigger convulsions later in the year are in legacy, again, could be more wishful thinking, could be, okay? Okay, somebody's giving Token Metrics support some love, right? Those guys are good. They are good, okay? Right, Routine Cheese is basically saying privacy is a human right. It is. It is. Okay? It absolutely is. All right. So with that, I'm gonna wrap. Oh, Routine wants me to look at DXY. Okay, so let's do a little legacy action. Let's see what's going on in DXY. Now, let's talk about the 60-day exponential moving average in DXY. So DXY is above the 60-day.
Not sharing screen.
Not sharing the screen. Sorry. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Okay. So here is dollar index daily. So this is a little bit of live PA. Sometimes my understanding is people like this. They like to see me just sort of work on a chart. Okay, so there is some reason to believe the move to 108 was overdone. Okay, there's some reason to believe that. Now, this formation here, where the Williams oscillator, okay, gets close to zero, is a warning of a big move. So, not going to lie, it's a big move could be coming. Okay. Now, is it up or down? Well, all these new highs in the dollar index were not confirmed by the 13-day RSI. Where did I get that from? From the same guy who taught me the Williams oscillator. If you're out there, brother, we love you. Okay. 13-day RSI. So something's going to happen in the dollar. The dollar's going to move. Okay. All right. So my final point is, and I got to jump off here. My final point is that the dollar could actually go down off the inflation numbers. I'm wondering if all the Fed tightening is broken, is factored in. So rather than make a strong dollar index statements, because I have made them before, let me suggest a radical question. What happens if the dollar tops? All right, folks, that's it for today. I will be here tomorrow. All right. We may do something late night. You never know. So this is Bill Noble. I will see you later.